up? It is Wednesday shenanigans on the Dynasty Pylon. Me and Brian are here together for once. Finally, it's been. I feel like it's been a few episodes.
That's all right. You know, Mark did a good job holding it down, and Tank came in did a little work. So, but now we're back to me and you.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Top
kind of like the
dog.
original. Everyone like expects us to be there, but with traveling and everything. If you guys didn't watch, I was in Dallas. I had to go watch a funeral, so it wasn't bad. The Lions put them in their graves, and said their hurrahs and basically said that they are now America's team. That is right. I said this before. They were going to be America's team eventually, and eventually, slowly but surely, they are now America's team. I don't care what you say. They are America's team. I don't care. What's up, B?
You're not right because
Nope.
Because of Hutchinson.
Nope.
Once Hutchinson got hurt, it has changed everything. So I think, even though this is my Super Bowl pick.
Hope you're doing good, B.
What's up, B? Appreciate you always doing what you do, man. Even though the Detroit Lions are my Super Bowl pick, I don't think they're America's team. I think Kansas City's still America's team as much as you hate them. Yeah, I dislike them.
Well, outside of Hutchinson, the injury was pretty gruesome. So, I was there live. I didn't get to see it right away until, because
I texted you right away. I was like,
yeah, well, because I saw it like live, but I didn't see because where I was at, it was behind, two linemen where it happened, because he went where I was at was on the Detroit defensive side, right end, if that makes sense. So when Hutch went around, and then the DN from that side went on that side, and his leg hit into Hutch, I didn't see Hutch grab Dak on that side.
Yep.
Until I looked at it, I had to scroll through my media. I was like, oh. So he was on the ground. I witnessed it because I was like, what's going on? I'm like, it's definitely his left leg. Like, that's for sure. And people around us like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. He's holding his knee. It's too high to be his ankle. I'm not too sure. And then eventually that's when I started seeing him, like, oh yeah, he's donezo. That's the season. So what's up, Aspect?
Told you my favorite person on the stream is great. And Mark is in here too.
What's up, Mark? I was hoping he was here today.
Yeah, he's taking care of a dog. He was texting me back and forth.
That's fine. I put him on the. I rarely put him on the thumbnail because I'm still waiting on pictures, Mark. I need more Marks. I don't know why we have to use the same one. Come on, man.
What's funny though? Mark looks so good now. I mean, he looks felt. You should have took pictures when he was with you. You were the person that could have took the pictures.
He didn't have a jersey.
Oh man, that's a very good point. All right.
Well, he had his Washington, but we didn't at the time. Yeah, but I need more. I figured he would have it on his own. But I'm thinking ready going to Detroit, or they make a block plus trade elsewhere, some Super Bowl run for this. So we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, so Reddick's not a bad hypothetical theory, but. Outside of Hutch, the Giants also lost Andrew Thomas for the season. So it's going to get way worse in the Giants because it was already bad. So the Giants are going to suffer more on that line. And Andrew Thomas is literally their best lineman. So
what the hell they're going to do? I mean, they were...
don't know.
Man, they were barely surviving.
I don't know.
You know, it's funny because the Giants line is so bad. I think Kansas City's worst position group is their offensive line. We already know how I think about Chicago Bears. There are good teams out there with terrible lines. Baltimore Ravens. They had to put Mark Andrews as a left tackle basically for 4 weeks. He just went away from fantasy football because he had to stay as a left tackle. Offensive line is hard to figure out. Like, you need to find a steady offensive line. If you can make it to the playoffs easy.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, once again, Detroit. probably the best, most stable offensive line.
Yeah. So, yeah. Obviously, with the numbers that they're putting up, with Golf having all his healthy weapons, they're going to be a dangerous force to be dealt with. So, yeah, we lost those two. On top of that, Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed also in the same week because
I
one
know.
got a concussion and the other one has surgery. So it's going to be interesting there in New Orleans. And also, there's a quarterback change in the Steelers. If you guys didn't know that,
Stupid.
I think they're just going to try it out. I don't know how long this is going to last. The moment Russ starts messing up, because Fields hasn't really been messing up too bad.
He's 4-2.
There was a fumble here and there, but it wasn't like game time where they dramatically changed the entirety of the game. So
he has them in position. They're leading the division.
What's up, Russ?
4-2. He has the entire team believing in him, and you go ahead and bench him. The only way this makes sense, if you're trading Russell Wilson, and you have to prove that he's healthy.
Yeah.
That's the only way it makes sense.
And also another one who also had a concussion was Patrick Surtain. So if you play IDP, that sucks because he's been doing really, really good for them. So we'll see. He's officially out against the Saints. But in good news, though, I know these are all negative. We start with negative. You got Malik Neighbors, who's trending on his way back from his concussion. May or may not play this week. I'm not too sure. There hasn't been a for sure 100% he's playing, but he did wear a red helmet or red jersey. I think it was jersey. I don't know why I said helmet, but they're at practice, so he's at practice. And also Brian Robinson also returned to practice as well. So a little bit light at the end of the tunnel there for those guys, if you guys have them in your guys' rosters. So it's good. It's good. We'll see how that goes.
Not to mention Jonathan Brooks has been designated to return for the Carolina Panthers. So, if you've been holding on to this rookie for all this time, maybe there is a light in the tunnel for them, and maybe it's not a train. We'll see.
So what's crazy, if you're in Dynasty, I understand, but I've seen a roster out there in redraft that I'm in that they've held them this long. That is why.
I don't know how.
How do you? And they're at the bottom of the pecking order, so that's probably another reason why you don't like. One, you can't hold players that are going to be beyond 4 weeks. Like it's just hope to get them in 3 or 4 weeks if they're going to be out that long. But you're going to need every roster. Redraft's very hard for the amount of change that you got to do in the roster, and you got to cut people that are going to be out for that long. And plus, on top of that, we don't know how good Jonathan Burke is going to be evaluating himself into this roster.
It's a different offense too.
He hasn't played.
He's never played in the NFL. Bryce Young is no longer the starting quarterback. This whole thing is different. The way they go about their offense is different. So I don't know what's going to happen. So it'll be really hard to go ahead and just jump in and be effective.
Okay, Mark. Okay, Mark. I want new photos by the 25th. You hear that? By the 25th, I want new Mark
got this
pictures. And I don't even care if it's in different jerseys. Make it happen. All these concussions, man. Everyone wants to copy my guy. Petition to rename concussions to the Tua Shuffle list. Jesus, bro.
What do you think about that? The whole Tua idea that say he's not done for the season.
Well, I mean, we heard that a couple of days after his concussion. He's like, "Yeah, I still plan on playing." So we're like, "Okay, well, it's his body, it's his idea. Like, no one's gonna stop the guy. Like, we could only recommend what he can do with it. But if the man wants to play, then hey, look, you want scrambled eggs? If you can keep going when you're older, that's fine. But again, no one can stop someone making.
But how far are you willing to go for $200 million? That's what the real question you have to ask. How far are you willing to go for $200 million? And for a brain injury that might not affect you till you're 55, 60. When you're 25, are you really even thinking that far?
He's not. He's still a young man. He's still, health concerns don't really affect a lot of people till like say they never really take care of their bodies. Like like just 30 about you start seeing the changes. If you don't take care of yourself, you start seeing your body change. But if you take care of yourself, health is always kept up and everything. You're still running. Like you're still good. You still feel like you're early 20s. Like it's, but you do notice. However, at age 25, and he has all this money and probably the best medical staff around him, so I don't really think that's running through his head. How many kids does he have? I don't know that. I probably should have I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question, right? Like maybe that's probably not like does he? I could only think too. Do you know how many kids he has? Because if he doesn't have any kids, that's probably why he's making this decision. I bet you anything. If he had one kid or two,
he has two.
Be like, he has two kids.
Yep, he has a son born in 2022 and a daughter in 2023. So he has two kids.
I don't know. Then I don't know. I'm out. I'm out. I figured these were decisions of a married man who had no kids.
If I have kids, I will do whatever it takes to get them money. I don't care about me because you do things for them and worry about yourself second.
Yeah, but I know. But they can manage on the money they have now.
Oh yeah, he could. But with $200 million, you know how people like kill themselves for that type of money. Like, and now you have an option or possibly being able to live. You know, you might get to Brett Favre's age and have Parkinson's disease. You might have CTE. All those are possible, but that's so far away for him. For me, 25 to 30 years.
Hey, he'll figure it out. You won't need a wheelchair for that game. There's nobody to pass rush him, so I don't think he's gonna get hit like that. That's not the game. You'll need a wheelchair for.
He did get knocked out by Damar Hamlin, so
yeah, but there is no like unless they send Buddha there, like ain't no way he's gonna get sacked. Like there's nobody there for the defensive Cardinals to threaten him. Man who loves the game. I said it before. I'll say it again. CTE is temporary. Her rings aren't. Yep. Nope. Well.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, anyways, outside of that, the biggest news obviously was the two big receivers that got traded. Which one do you want to start first? Because I have my opinions on both.
Yeah. So we can start with Devontae because I think Amari is way more important.
Okay. Oh, good. Thank you. Wow. I feel the same way. That's awesome. Yeah, let's get Devontae out of the way.
Yeah, it's like, all right, whatever.
Everybody's talking about it, so I'm pretty sure everyone's tired of hearing it. But also people want opinions on how we feel about it. So go ahead.
So the idea of Devontae Adams being traded to the Jets for it's a conditional second. So it's really a third. They could move it to a second round pick. I think they also got a fourth. Was it Devontae and a fourth for a conditional?
Yeah,
second?
it was. Yeah, they got. Yeah, it was a fourth or something like that.
Yeah. So the idea, but between that, I mean, bringing him back with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the way I saw it was that Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show, and then he kept on looking aside, and then said, hey, "Come on and show them." And Devontae Adams came out.
He just yeah. Stupid Devontae has a football. He just goes. Big old smile. In no freaking way. I was laughing so hard when I saw that. Literally the day of, like, this man got the news
already in New York.
Well, they're not allowed to spill the media, so they did the trade today. He instantly packed up, moved. So by the time the day of the trade, he was already in Aaron Rodgers' place, man. Oh God, I was
catching passes from Aaron Rodgers already. And so there's multiple things I think about this whole trade. First thing I would say is Garrett Wilson owners, I'm sorry, because Garrett Wilson was the most highly sought after passer. Like he had more targets than anyone in the NFL these first five weeks. So now with Devontae Adams there, I know his target's going to be cut in half. So now he's going to make the most of what he has. I think Garrett Wilson was showing that he could be a number one receiver without a question. I don't think Devontae Adams was needed. But when you have Aaron Rodgers throwing to his boy, you're going back to being second fiddle. So I think that's the first thing you notice with that. So I don't think even Devontae at his best doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
then,
right.
The idea that you might give up a second round pick for a guy who, if Aaron Rodgers decides to leave next year, that you're going to have to cut. It's ludicrous. Literally, you doing a second round pick for 12 games. What?
Yeah, I think it's
stupid.
I
think it's stupid.
I don't know.
If you had that money, then why didn't you sign Reddick to the damn extension?
Probably there was a lot more going on than we actually saw behind the scenes. So I just think it's crazy that, I was watching, let's go shuffling through social media, and you bring up Garrett Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a meme of everybody partying and having a great time. Like, yeah, the Garrett Wilson owner, it's his breakout year, and we're doing great. And then literally the next scene was a bunch of depressed people and everything, and Davante Adams walking in like, oh, wait, there goes the season. Because, oh my gosh. But one of the best ones I saw was, and I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but it was Aaron Rodgers in Thanos glove. Okay. You remember the end game where he rips off the last stone off of freaking Jarvis's
dead
piece?
head. Yeah.
So it's Jarvis's face, but it's like the Raiders' face. And he pulls Davante Adams off of the Raiders' face, which is Jarvis, and he puts Davante Adams, and you can see Aaron Rodgers do with his little smirk, throwing Davante Adams onto his glove. It was, I'm like, get out of here, bro.
See, but I will say this: the idea that they're playing Pittsburgh Steelers,
mm-hmm.
and that the Pittsburgh Steelers are starting Russell Wilson, makes me think that Pittsburgh thinks that they're going to lose this game, and that's why they're putting Russell Wilson out there, because the Jets' defensive line is still elite.
Yeah,
and he can't get away, and they can't block. Are they just trying to just show, hey, if someone wants in Miami, if you want to come get them, because that's next trade is happening. You have November 5th to make this stuff happen. So you have to start showcasing him now,
mm-hmm.
and then go ahead and say, all right, well, Justin, now you have the rest of the year. We'll sat you down for 2 weeks, but this is your team now. Here's the keys to the car.
Much. Yeah. So I will want to see. It's going to get interesting, especially with Dynasty owners everywhere. Like, you guys holding on to them? Are these trade baits you can get rid of to up your game? Let us know what you guys do, because I'm interested, because all of these moves are going to affect a lot of these Dynasty rosters. So I am interested to see what people do. Crazy how quickly the tight end went from praising AP back to get them the fun. Yeah.
Hey, Davante was like, "Oh man, Aaron Pierce is great," and then he's like, "Hey, let me go. I'm out. I'm requesting a trade. I need to go." And that's funny because Max Crosby was like, "If you trade him, might as well make
I want out too." Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So Davante and how I feel about it. I am, like I said, the whole Garrett Wilson thing going on. Like, it's going to downgrade a lot of the passes, because Aaron Rodgers typically does pick his guys. So Garrett Wilson, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know how this is going to improve the Jets for the year. I don't think this is going to give them more wins. Probably 1, maybe 2, but I don't think that this is going to save the year. Okay, I think this is going to help them following, if Rodgers and Adams stay, which I think they will. Following year, and upgrade that line. There's still a lot of pieces that the Jets roster needs in order to make this work. So as for the Jets, losing to the Bills was a big deal, because that was a division game.
And they had that game won twice, like 2 field goals that were easy field goals.
The defense was holding up for almost the entirety of the 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter, I don't know what happened, man. I don't know what happened, because even I got pissed, because me and Brian had a spike bet, and I was doing pretty good. I'm like, you know what? I'm not, like I said, they were going to do just fine, and they were doing just fine. And then at midway through 4th quarter, I don't know what happened. I can't explain what happened, but they just kind of gave up, and then.
But no, Josh was playing decent the entire game. So he stepped up and he was doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the Jets just didn't believe. They don't believe in themselves. And then they had a chance to finally have belief in Aaron Rodgers, and then Mike Williams runs the wrong route. If you go back and rewatch the play, you understand that that's supposed to be a 15-yard out.
Yeah,
and he made it a 15-yard flag route, which is a corner route. That's it. Aaron Rodgers did not underthrow the ball. He threw it where he should have been. That's why we got to cut Mike Williams. So I totally understand cutting Mike Williams. Bringing Devontae Adams there, it's going to really hurt Garrett Wilson because now you have Allen Lazard and Devontae Adams. It's literally the Green Bay Packers now, with you being the new guy, even though you were the man. So it kind of is what it is, but they had a chance to really show that they can win this division. Yeah. And now they're down 2 games to the best quarterback in the division.
Right. So, but with Devontae Adams moving, we could, kind of end it there saying that, if you have Brock Bowers on your roster, good for you.
Yeah, good job.
You're going to he's the only weapon that left in the Raiders. Say what you want to say. He's the only weapon left.
The last one left in the cupboard.
Yeah, so good for you. But the other receiver that we kind of want to talk about and touch bases on is the Bills trading for Amari Cooper. I was like, okay, this could be something good. This could be something bad. I don't know. Like it's interesting to me, especially me being such a Josh Allen fan and having him on my Dynasty roster. Kind of makes me like intrigued a little bit. Like how well does Amari have it left in the tank, or is it just the bad coaching in the Browns, or is it Deshaun Watson? Like what is it? This is now going to expose what it was this entire time in Cleveland Browns. So yeah.
I think Amari Cooper is still great. I think last year he showed when Joe Flacco was the quarterback how great he could still be. And what did the Bills really need? They're trying to make Keon Coleman a number 1 receiver. And you know what? He's too immature to be a number 1 receiver right now. He can grow into the position, but he needs someone to show him the way. There's no one more suited to show him the way than Amari Cooper. So Amari Cooper coming onto this team, coming from that bad situation to this situation, he's going to be happy just to be out of Cleveland. And he's going to do whatever they ask him to do. And I think that's going to be the perfect situation for a team that, once again, is 2 games up on everybody else. Amari Cooper might change this Bills team to they might make the playoffs to, you better watch out for them in the AFC Championship game.
Thing is,
they had 3 running backs.
The thing is, are you starting him this week?
No.
Okay.
Probably
I'm not
a
either.
week.
I don't feel like if I had either one, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably be okay with Adams starting this week, but I'm not comfortable with Cooper. Why? Because Adams is already used to Rodgers and freaking what's his face?
Hackett, and they're running the same exact offensive scheme.
They could run up some old plays that they both remember. Hey, remember this one? It's the same thing. It's just called this or whatever. They could. However, Amari's just now getting there. He has what? Couple days. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like 4 days to figure it out. And is he going to be out there? Yeah, absolutely. But I need to see what they run on him. Like, what are they going to like? Because Joe Brady. It's not Sean. It's not Sean. I don't think it's Sean. I think it's Joe Brady. I think we are not getting the high-powered offense that we get from Josh Allen this year. And last year was a different Josh Allen. And I understand they don't have Diggs, but since Joe Brady's been there, it's been different.
I agree.
It's been different.
I agree.
And now without Diggs, it's even more dramatically different.
No,
I think Joe Brady's the problem, but I don't think a lot of people realize that yet.
I was waiting for the Giants to fire Dable and him to go back to the Bills, and
I would love that.
And then all of a sudden they just win, because this wide receiver group has made Amari Cooper's a huge elevation. So put Amari Cooper where Matt Collins was is just so important. You know, he being the right wide receiver, the outside, he can be the X, he can be the Z. It kind of puts Khalil Shakir back in place where you need him to be. And Keon Coleman could just naturally develop and be the guy who just runs past people right now. You don't have to be, polished in your route running because he's not polished. He's just not a polished player, but he's going to learn from a guy who works on his craft. He's going to see what it takes to be a star receiver. Josh Allen now has a go-to guy, but he doesn't have to focus on it because he's not going to be complaining. He's not a diva receiver. He just wants to have the ball. Can you remember what Dak Prescott had Amari Cooper? You remember what he did? Remember what Amari Cooper did last year? That's why the Browns want to trade him. I think this receiving core, now you can even start looking at the tight ends and maybe use Dalton Kincaid, sit Dawson Knox down more because you can go 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end. And that spreads the whole field out. Now Kincaid gets the ball more. Just overall, this helps out the Bills a whole hell of a lot. And
absolutely.
Apparently they got 2 running backs. I didn't know they had 2 running backs.
I think the utilization of Kincaid, it's they still have Dawson Knox. And I really thought that they were going to go away from him, but clearly not. And they're still using him as like their main one. But Kincaid is getting the amount of targets. Just it's kind of hard when you play him. You have one of them, and you have one of them starting on an offense that has 2 really good tight ends. So,
you know what it reminds me of? Remember when Cole Kmet was playing with Jimmy Graham?
Yeah. 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah. That's it.
You can see that. You see the talent.
Same exact. Yep.
Until you get rid of Jimmy Graham, you can't see the talent really come out. And that's what's going on. And I think, if Kincaid could do the same thing Laporta is doing. He's faster. He's more fluid. He can do the same exact thing. But until you lose Dawson Knox, you're not going to see the best out of Kincaid.
No, I agree. This last year when Knox was injured, what happened to Kincaid? It was like a mini breakout. Yep. We really thought that they weren't going to sign Knox again. It was all right. Kincaid's the man. Everybody even thought Kincaid is going to take over, but no, that's not what the Bills wanted. I mean, obviously with the loss of Gabe Davis and and with Diggs, I think this is probably why they kept Knox, because it gives them the 2 options of the tight ends, and they're both big. They're both, bulldozers. So if it makes sense on a Buffalo Bills standpoint, but for fantasy, we hate it, obviously, but it makes sense. So I'm not entirely against what they did, but it is what it is. I would still hold on to Kincaid if you have him. I personally would try and trade him if you want to, or hold him because I think he'll break out eventually. But if you want to trade him high because he's still young. He's going to be part of the Bills no matter what. Yeah. I do believe Knox will eventually weed himself out. But the good thing about it is Kincaid is still being utilized, and he's still getting targets. He's still getting yards. He just proved us wrong last week. He proved me wrong. I didn't think he was going to utilize that much, and he barely. You know what it was? It was that last catch of 20 yards. I'm like, that was it.
I was like, he went from 8. He had 7.8 points to 12 points.
I was like, get the hell out of here, man. So stupid. That last drive, too, man. Oh God. But it was an interesting week. I didn't get to watch a lot of the games due to the fact that I was,
in Dallas at the most important game that we saw this week. The massacre that we saw in Dallas.
I'm not gonna lie though, that stadium is really nice. It's probably one of the best ones that I've been to. I have seen the Las Vegas Raiders one, and it's not bad either. The Dallas one is very interesting on how the way it's operated, on how they get things in and out of that stadium. It opens up from the sides, which is something I didn't know. And the way it's built is they have little small cylinder holes in every suite for the air pressure to not blow up all the windows. I guess the way the way the doors open the side, they have to simultaneously open at the same time, or as too much air pressure rushes through one side and creates pressure. Yeah, it was really interesting seeing how they did it. I saw like how the gears and everything move. It was pretty interesting to see. But again, one of the most interesting stadiums I've ever seen. So I'll see if I can put some in the Discord. I'll put some pictures up. I got to see. I went to go into locker rooms, which is pretty cool. I didn't get to show that live on stream.
Yeah,
but they were able to let us take pictures. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But we went to go see both locker rooms, players and cheerleaders. It was pretty interesting to see where they came out of with visitors. There's like 4 different visiting locker rooms, which is crazy. Yeah, for the professionals, for the college, for the high schoolers, and for events that are for like
musical artists or whatever, probably.
Yeah, musical artists or like monster truck drivers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they get their it was
wrestlers.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not a lot of stadiums have that many different visitor locker rooms. So
what level are you? Purpose. What level are you? You get to the access to that one.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it was interesting. So what's up, Michael? How are you?
Yeah, Michael in the building.
So trades have been happening, and now it's just changing the way our dynasty rosters are going to be, because I'm pretty sure Davante Adams is affecting everybody right now.
Yep.
It's affecting how with Chris Olave being gone, and then it's do you make the move? Do you sell Garrett Wilson? What do you do? Like what as a Garrett Wilson owner? Like okay, what do you do? Are you holding? You selling? What's going on through your mind?
So in Dynasty, there's no doubt that you hold on to him, because he's going to eventually learn. He's more talented than Allen Lazard. He's going to have to learn how to be a slot receiver. That's what's going to end up happening. They're going to put Davante on the outside, Allen Lazard on the outside. He's going to have to learn how to be the quick guy in the middle for a little while, which is good and bad, because he might get PPR. He might get just as many targets, but he won't get as many big plays. So you can still hold on to him. But he's no longer your wide receiver 1, or he's more like a wide receiver 3 flex option. So like it sucks a little bit, But I still see you holding him back in 2 early, top end wide receiver 3. You can do that.
Okay.
But you hold on to him.
Say you have them both. Okay.
Oh, Davante and is this redraft or in Dynasty?
This is Dynasty, man. This is Dynasty.
Dynasty. It's going to suck this year. I will probably look at trading Garrett Wilson this year for something good, because he's already produced right now. So if I could possibly get a second rounder and another receiver that's not the same quality, I would do that.
And keep Davante.
And to keep Davante for now.
Knowing that
he's 32 years old and probably only got 2 years left in him.
You out 2 receivers by the end of the year, potentially.
Yep. Okay. But no, I think Davante will get picked up regardless. But that's why you're trying to get a pick and a receiver. I need a receiver to replace him. So like a Darnell Mooney in the second rounder. That's probably what I'll be looking for.
Okay. Not bad. Mike coming in. What about Mike Williams owners?
Sorry.
I want to assume he's not your top 3 receivers, especially in Dynasty. I would imagine that he's probably your 4. I in 3rd, but not. I don't like. I would say if you're a Mike Williams owner, you stash him, because there's other teams hurting on receiver that he might end up somewhere else. No, it's not. And that's a valid question. Like there are owners out there that with Mike Williams, it's fine. Like there are 16 million dynasty leagues that are probably hurting or probably needing. Somebody's are they going to catch this stream? I don't know, but we're gonna talk about it. This changes everything. Amari Cooper, like David Njoku goes up. Okay, Jerry Jeudy goes up.
Yep.
So
a little bit, because Deshaun Watson still can't throw the ball.
Well, I want to talk about that, because when the hell are they going to make the switch to freaking Jameis Winston?
I don't know. Like they should have done this already.
It needs to happen. It's already weeks of bad.
Fake an injury. That's what they need to say. Say we're gonna save face. We're gonna say that you have a busted rib, and we're gonna give Jameis an opportunity right now. We're not trying to get rid of you.
You put Jameis in there, the production level is going to be better.
100%.
The first throw might be an interception, but the rest of the game will be balls out, 4 touchdowns to 3 different dudes. But I'm telling you,
I think every game Jameis Winston starts, 4 people get touchdowns.
Probably.
2 people will be on your team, 2 people on the other team.
Yeah.
It probably. I mean, he will throw the ball. He's not afraid of being accurate.
Oh, no.
He will get the ball on the run. Like, I love what Jameis Winston can do, and the team will galvanize around him. So don't let Jameis Winston come in with Nick Chubb.
There's 2 quarterbacks that I love watching that aren't top 10 quarterbacks. Well, one of them is now, but that even they're, despite on what team they are, even their rivalry teams, I don't care. It's Jameis Winston and Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Jameis Winston
might be top 5 quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is now top now, but Jameis Winston and what Brian said, he don't care. He doesn't care. He just wants to be on a roster with money. He is not scared of throwing an 80-yard bomb because he can do it. But the problem is now, see, we haven't seen his LASIK surgery eyes quarterback.
Exactly what I was going to say. If he can see, he can tell what team you're on.
We still haven't seen this because he signed that. So he got the surgery, signed another year with the Saints, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they never played him. And then at the end of that year, he got traded or he signed with the Browns? I can't even remember.
Signed with the Browns, so yeah, he signed away for
$10
million.
We haven't seen
the most highly paid backup quarterback, and you're not going to go ahead and play him?
We haven't seen LASIK surgery Winston yet. I want to see it. I need to see him see the field. That makes sense. Because I want him to hit some targets.
The Browns are the perfect team for this, right? Because their defense is
4 interceptions. Probably 5-3. I would say 5-3.
But the Browns have a great defense. So if they're energized and galvanized, they can stop the teams from, those interceptions aren't touchdowns. Those are field goals.
Yeah.
So you win the game 35-9, because he might got 5 touchdowns and those 3 interceptions are just field goals. You win. That's winning.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it and then the stock of a lot of these cheap players go up. Like, guys, if there's ever a chance where you see any news where they say we're potentially that Jameis Winston gets to start, I'm trying to probably pick up some of those offensive pieces on the Browns.
I'm on Jared Judy and Njoku immediately.
And probably they're sitting around waivers because nobody wants anything. And they're probably sitting there. I would even get to take a shot at freaking Jameis. Why not? Just grab him. Stash him. Don't start him. Just stash him. And if he does good, then
you win. Yeah.
So I don't know. There's plenty of football left, and there's plenty of things that may or may not happen. So tomorrow's game we have the Broncos traveling to the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect out of these? Spencer Rattler is out there he's gonna throw for a second game.
He impressed me. He looked good in the first half. Mm-hmm. He really did.
2 interceptions, 1 touchdown at 243 yards.
But he sees the field.
4 rushes.
He sees the field. I think that's the most important thing. That he's not afraid to be good, and he has Kamara behind him. And if Kamara can actually get on a roll, this team can still be decent. I thought that he might be better than Derek Carr going into the season. I would like to see him start 2 or 3 games. It takes rookies 3 or 4 games to really get their feet under them.
Yeah. I haven't heard any news on Derek Carr's oblique muscle, but typically when I hear oblique, I flip that. At least with receivers, usually that's 2 weeks. I don't know how it's going to be with the quarterback. I would imagine the same because there's a lot of twisting in the hips motion.
Yeah.
So I would imagine another week, maybe 2. I don't know, but more than likely he's going to start again. Has Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler faced off? They had to have, right?
They were in there forever. They were quarterbacks for a long time. And that's the other thing about Spencer Rattler.
But they faced each other in college, right?
They had to.
Like, I'm pretty sure they had to.
I mean,
so
Oregon, either Oklahoma or
something at some point. I haven't looked at it or did the research for it, but I'm pretty sure at some point this might be a rivalry game for both of them, or maybe start one. Who's the better rookie? I don't know, because the Denver defense without Sutton,
they still get pressure on the quarterback, but without having that great person, the safety or defensive back, they may not be able to take advantage of a lot of the situation. So their defense might be okay, except without the interceptions. Without Courtland Sutton sucks too. So I mean, there's going to be a lot. I want to see what happens. Bo Nix is more impressive than I thought he was going to be. All of these quarterbacks that have played 5 years in college are more impressive than I thought that was going to be. It's almost like they are more well seasoned. They know what to expect, and they're adapting better than I thought they would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jameis Winston, George Pickens, Jordan Addison. I don't know why you're asking this, but Jameis Williams. I don't even know why he's asking this, but
I think
if you want to ask me which one I like out of these three dudes, I'd have a beer with Jameis Williams. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Jordan Addison is still doing great numbers, and I'll take. So Jameson Williams.
Maybe he just felt like typing 3 wide receivers. I don't know. Cool, Mike.
I'll tell you this much.
I'm assuming this is start one. Okay,
yeah.
If that's the case, start one. You got Detroit against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You got who else? You got who should I start? Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. And then you got the Steelers, who
against the Jets.
Against the Jets with Russell Wilson, who, look, I don't know how it's going to turn out. Okay? I don't know how it's going to turn out. But of these 3 receivers, who you should start, I might go Jordan Addison, but it's only going to be, like, not that far.
Jordan Addison's been getting about 13, 14, 15 points a game. I think that's what you would get. You get 13, 14, 15 points with him.
Yeah, well,
Jameson Wilson,
J-Mo, though.
Jameson has the opportunity to get a bigger higher, but he also can get you 8. So Jameson has been like 7, 16, 8, 9. Like it can go up and down with Jameson.
Jameson Williams has only been good because he's connected those big bombs.
Exactly.
He had 16 points against Dallas, 15 points against Seattle, nothing on Arizona. That was the risk. 12 against Tampa Bay, and then 21 against LA. But those are all guys under like 3 or 4 targets in the last couple of weeks.
But you look at Jordan Addison, when he's healthy, I think his last game he had like 19 points, I want to say. I'm not looking at the stats right now, but I think that he did. And you have to because you're double teaming JJ.
You know, he's also the safest. He's the safest, but if he's your flex, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to throw J-Mo in there just because it might be the flex. Like, it could be. I didn't even know you had a dog down in your basement till now, like ever. I think I will go Jameson Williams and take that risk, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to be too far off.
I think George Pickens I would not even touch right now.
Yeah, I need to see how Russ runs his team. It's a 2 flex.
And I just don't think Russ can get away from the Jets' defensive line. And he had no preseason, so he's rusty. So, like, no pun intended.
Rusty Russ, let's go. If he does bad, that's his nickname on our show. Rusty Russ is gonna be what we're gonna call him on Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's what's gonna look like. Exactly, we're gonna talk about. We say, "Wow, Russ was definitely rusty." Like that's what's gonna look because they're gonna put so much pressure on him, and he has no idea how to throw these wide receivers.
Mark used to. Yeah, he probably thought it was his. Yeah, but I think you won't be too far off from starting either or. I'm not on like again, if that helps you out, I'm picking one, he's picking the other, definitely not the third.
Definitely.
You know what's gonna upset me? Watch the third one pop off.
Watch Russ come in and throw him dimes and
yeah, we'll see. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Of the two, I think Addison is your safest, but I'm willing to gamble with Williams because some point in the game he does golf
Raheem
does try.
Morris.
He does hit him with the deep one, and then
Raheem Morris is a bad man. That defense in Minnesota is much better than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Mark, this is going to be interesting, and I should have recorded this, but I didn't. If you're listening, Mark, wait, does he still have Jared Goff on his team?
Yes.
Okay. I've never been to a game where the opposing quarterback gets cheered throughout the entire stadium. It was that bad. There was a section of Lions fans towards the nosebleed section. I look over to my top right and I'm like, am I hearing this correctly? It started off there and it migrated through the entire stadium. Look, and this stadium is big and it echoes, okay? All I heard was Jared Goff. Jared. I was like, ain't no freaking way I'm hearing this. It was crazy. And I'm like, well, you got to give it to him. Got to give it to him.
But, dude, the Lions wanted to rub it in. They felt embarrassed about what happened in last year's playoffs. They're trying to do anything they could to get a lineman to score. They threw it to like 4 different linemen.
Trust me, I know.
Just kept it going.
It was crazy. They're America's team. I don't care. They're the new America's team. I don't care. Say what you want to say. I've been saying that I've been saying that for last 2 years. They are going to be America's team. They are slowly becoming it. Look, say what you want to say.
We don't even know if they're the best team in the NFC North. NFC North is the best division in all of football. It's not close. You know the top 4 point differentials in the entire NFL are all in the NFC North.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's what it's. But that Minnesota being that good, Minnesota being 1, and Detroit being 2, and Chicago being 3, and Green Bay being 4, like, we don't even know if they're going to be good enough to win the division.
Mm-hmm. My flex spot, I have Chuba Hubbard and J.K. Dobbins. Okay.
Yeah, you can't do nothing about that.
Hey, look, if J.K. Dobbins is healthy,
you play him.
You put him in, and I will continue to preach that until the day he retires. Okay, or until we start seeing him start pulling some Ezekiel Elliott stuff, and he's just too old to play. Look, if J.K. Dobbins is healthy, you put him in.
There's not a lot of mileage on him. I'll tell you that much.
I said that last week, and I hope you listened to me while I was sitting in that car. If J.K. Dobbins is healthy, you put him in. Because what did he do for you? He at least put up at least 15 points on whatever. He had 25 carries on Sunday. He put up 17.2 for us in our league. I don't know whatever he did on your league, but I'm pretty sure it was beneficial to you. Because why? I had Dak Prescott in, and good Lord, did the Lions stop him, and they didn't do anything. Thank goodness for J.K. Dobbins. Saved me my week. Holy moly.
What do you think about Kamani Vidal?
I look, there's a reason why I drafted him. Okay? There's a reason why I drafted him. And I'm glad I did, because if JK goes down, I feel very comfortable. Come on, maybe that, okay? And I'm glad. That was actually one game I did kind of want to see on TV, and he looked good.
Yeah.
Okay. There's if you have JK Dobbins on your Dynasty roster, go get good Vidal. Yeah. I've preached that already. It's
very good handcuff he has, and he can catch. So I feel like you could play it with any team. I love
He's on my taxi roster. If they play a crappy team, I might just like if it comes to playoff time and they're playing a crappy, I gotta check out the rest of the schedule for the Chargers. But if they're playing a crappy team, I might just put Kamani in the flex and JK as a starter, and just that way I could get the win and go into the playoffs or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamani ends up being the starter by the end of the season, because I don't believe JK will make it through the whole season.
Don't you put that on no, stop. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. You leave JK alone. I've been the biggest JK truther since day he came out in the league.
And the truth is, so much he's always hurt.
Hey, look, but I still had him, didn't I not?
You're right. No, you're good.
Yes, and J.K. Dobbins we trust. America's team, Big D, Detroit. Yes, thank you.
You know what's funny?
Great episode. It's a great episode.
It might be, America's team might be end up being the Commanders because Jay Daniels is doing what no one else can do.
It's too early for that. Look, you got to develop. All right, you can't just throw that out there right away. Look, I've told you
the nation's capital
developing in a while. Now, the loss of Hutchinson is going to definitely prove him. Okay,
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised if they end up second or third in the division, but I still think no matter where they end up, they can make it all the way to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, the only team I think they're better than they beat the Packers all the time. I think they beat Minnesota all the time. Chicago gives them a unique. It's a bad matchup for them.
Okay.
You know, but a bad matchup for Chicago is the Green Bay and Minnesota. So like it all bounced out. So that division, I believe, the worst team in that division wins 9 games, and they all can make it to the damn playoffs because I don't know who else will in any other division.
Yeah. No, I think they might have it locked. Packers might give them a run. I don't know. The division is interesting.
Minnesota's still 5-0.
Yeah, it's a very interesting. And we said this though. That was going to be the most interesting division to watch, and I think it's going to be the most interesting division to watch even the following 2 years from now because they're still developing. There's a lot of holes that need to be plugged in.
They're young.
Teams.
They're all young.
4 of those teams. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Well, speaking of this, I still want to bring up Detroit lost Aiden Hutchinson. So, do they trade? They already checked on Hassan Reddick.
Thank you.
Do they trade for somebody? And this is a good time to talk Max and Minimum Cross because I think that's the man for it.
I think if they were smart, and let me put this team is doing. They just lost the
heart and soul
best player. Hang on, I'm gonna tell you who they need to go after. This team that they need to go after, they need to go get on the phone and talk to them. They just lost their best freaking player. Okay. And he doesn't even produce fantasy points. Okay. The best player that doesn't produce fantasy points for this team is literally the main reason why this team is as good as they're doing. And they're not even doing that great. They only got 2 wins, okay? The Giants.
Okay.
They need to go trade for Aziz Al-Shir. Or not Aziz Al-Shir, but Ojulari.
Ojulari? Mm-hmm.
They have 4 really good linemen. 2 decent linebackers. And their DBs need a little bit of work. Okay, especially their corners. If you trade him, the Lions are basically it's flat. It's like they didn't really like it. There's a talent difference, but the drop from Hutch is here, but with Aziz, it comes back a little bit halfway. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Giants can have a little bit of asset for like draft picks for the following years to, I don't know, go get another
fix off the line,
or maybe fix that corner and offensive line. I don't know, but the Giants should probably invest in this. They still got time. They still got another week. Is it still 8 or did they change that? It's still 8, right?
No, they have till November, the first week of November.
Week 8. 9.
Yeah.
They still have time. And I think the Giants would be the best ones for that. If not the Falcons, but that's just because they're hurting on the other side. But
I still think so. Hutchinson is not just their best player, right? I think he's also their emotional leader. The one who has this motor that's unstoppable motor that gets everyone on the defense charged up. They watch him and everyone just kind of rallies around him because all he does is put pressure and he does just non-stop. You need a player that's similar to that. You need someone who's going to put that same power, that same energy into that system. And that's why I say Max Crosby makes so much more sense for Detroit because
the fact
he brings
that you guys are on the same level. I like.
He puts in all that power, that energy, that love, and Detroit will soak that up. At first, the city, they love him, but then
how much is it going to cost?
I think it would. What I'm hearing, because I was looking at a Bears story that Ryan Poles actually called about both. They're looking for either a late first by itself or a second and a fourth. Now, Detroit is the one team that can do that and not really hurt. They can give you a second and a fourth. Detroit also has the cap room going forward to take that contract and have no problems. And now, can you imagine? Don't get me wrong, I don't want this, right? Because I don't want Max Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. I don't want this. That will be a nightmare. But it will make so much sense on so many levels. And it also works with the head coach. It just makes so much sense when I think about it.
I just think that. So you said second and a fourth.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just give him the single first. Give up your first if you do it. Keep your second. Because you're going to need that second. You're going to be towards the back end of the draft.
Exactly. So that second is almost a third. And that's why. And then when you think about so you almost could talk your way in saying, I really gave up a third for Max Crosby. And what if I say a third and a fifth? Well, that's the second and the fifth, fourth, because you might win the Super Bowl.
That's the thing. If you give up just a single first, it's just one pick, but you could get about, it could go either way on how they feel about it. Plus, they got to pick up the contract as well, maybe. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting that what they could do, but I think
you can win the Super Bowl.
I think, but
with Max Crosby, you could win. They already are, in my opinion, the most talented team in the NFC. They can win. And
I think they can win with what they have now.
I don't know if they can without losing Aiden Hutchinson and him not being able to be able to come back into possibly the NFC Championship game. That will be the earliest he can come back.
I don't think that you need to go out and get Max, per se, because I think the cost of him would be too high, where I think if you could get Galore, it would be cheaper.
I think Hassan Reddick would be cheaper than that too.
Yeah, well,
Hassan Reddick might be able
to already deal in something on a package with somebody, or there were rumors of it.
The Jets put him in for got him for a third. I think Detroit could get him for a fourth.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
And then they pay him and say we're going to pay you $19 million. He wants 20. He gets $19 million. He'll sign it. Drew Rosenhaus is his new his representative. I can see that happening. So now Hassan Reddick might be a really good thing, but he doesn't solve the emotional leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he fits with Detroit. He seems more like a mercenary. But Max Crosby could find a home there. They will love his style of play, love his personality, and that's something that could grow. And he won't, get in the way of Aiden Hutchinson. And on both sides, woo, that's scary.
I don't want it, but at the same time, I don't.
I don't want it. Don't get me wrong. I just think that as a football fan, I will be impressed and can't wait to see it. As a Bears fan, I don't want to see anything like that in my future.
I just, especially with him being in his ankle, I don't think it really worried much. He still did okay last week, so we'll see. But it would be interesting to see him with the Lions and then next year with Hutch back. I just don't see them doing it. It's too much, but that's just how I feel about it. But what's up, Prime? How are you? We're doing pretty good. We're just getting into our segments here in a bit. So got destroyed, but you're still in first place. Hey, that's good. That's your mulligan. That's your free one. That's your insurance. Okay, so it happens. I took out the first place on just this last week on one of my leagues, and that just boosted me up to third place, and I was sitting at fifth or sixth. So
that was my first win in the Guillotine League.
Really?
Yep. But it doesn't matter because in my idea, I didn't want to be good. I wanted to be solid enough to continue to be there and pick up the players I want to pick up. And then at the end, you turn around and say, oh, where did this guy come from? I destroy everybody.
Yeah. Beat the first place guys. He was undefeated. Hey, everybody's getting good. First, take out the top guy. Show them that they're not entirely two boss. Would have probably won if I started Baker, but Burrow should have done better against the Giants. Yeah. I see where you went there. Yeah. No one really thought about Baker's good,
hard.
But against the Giants, I understand why we went there or why you went there. It's everybody in the right mind. We all would have done the same thing.
Yep. And you would have felt good after Baker threw all those interceptions in the second quarter. Like he threw 3 interceptions. Oh my God, I made the right decision. And then he says, "Hold my beer. Yeah. I got 4 touchdowns for you."
All right. So, as we usually do every Wednesday, if available and if we get a show, we'll do it. But before we do that, let's get our boy here. Let's do the max or minimum Crosby. We haven't done it in a while because he was hurt. Now he's questionable again, which, good Lord, I don't understand why or how or what's going on here. But we are.
I know why.
Say what?
I know why. He don't want to play.
Yeah, but there it is. Here's a boy. So he did all right. Not too bad. This is a 1 point per tackle league with a 0.25 or it's 5. It's a point for every 5 yards sacks, and the sack number is a 3, and tackle for loss is 1.5. So again, he squeezed away with the 9. And we didn't do last week at all because he was questionable, but he is questionable again. So it looks like he might play again. But he's sitting at 8.76. Are we going max again? Are we going minimum? It's against the Rams.
I gotta go max.
Gotta go max Crosby. I think I'm going max. This Carolina was probably a fluke. I don't know.
That's the only minimum is Carolina.
It really was. It really, really was. So I'm not even sure how that happened, but got us all wrong. And I think we blame Mark for that one. He actually said max, and we all said max. He went minimum or something.
And then all of a sudden he went minimum.
So he won, right? I don't know. Yeah, usually it's opposite what Mark says. So but yeah, I'm going max. I think it's safe to say we're going max against LA Rams. Mark is going max, so I don't know. Does this mean he goes minimum?
Exactly.
Because whenever Mark says something about him, he typically does the opposite. So we'll see what he does. I don't know what he's gonna do, but we're all going max. Mark says minimum, but it's all good.
Watch him go minimum because he wants to get traded.
Yeah, I know, right? Baker is too inconsistent. I want to start Baker against Baltimore because usually they have a high score. But Burrow plays divisional rival, and Burrow does good last time he played in divisional rival. Baltimore. Cleveland defense has been meh, so it's tough. I don't know. Baker's been doing really good. If you ask me, he's been pretty good in my opinion. I don't think about this inconsistently, but
he's only had one bad game.
That's 2 of them, actually. It was 2 of them, and they were back-to-back. It was look, the Detroit one, I kind of consider that a bad one because I'm used to him throwing up 30 points. So for him to go back down to 15 is kind of weird. Since last year, there's one guy in our league who has Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield, and he still puts and I get it, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have not been as of Chiefs of late. But yet here you are continuously putting Baker on the bench, and you're losing. But the only reason he probably had Baker in this week and probably had his win is because why Patrick Mahomes was on bye week.
He's finally on bye, and then all of a sudden you have all these points.
I wonder what this individual is going to do next week, because if they don't see what we seen and they're continuously putting Patrick out there on this mediocre offense, yes, I said it. It's mediocre right now. You can't rely on a rookie on the 3 plays that you give him, which they need to play him more, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're giving him 3 receptions and 2 carries, because every single time you give this kid the ball, Worthy just takes off.
Yep.
Why is he not involved more?
I'm not sure if he's not able to run the routes the right way, and they want him to be able to do that. I think that's
whatever
what
they're doing. Every
to.
single time he touches the ball, all I see him is outrunning everybody or juking the crap out of it. So I don't know what's going on, but they need to do it more because Kelsey's getting old, and you could really freaking see it this year. Kelsey's getting old. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why they keep on winning. Probably because the defense stepped up, which defense is not probably better than most years. But
he's been doing good the last 2 weeks. Kelsey's going to do good now, especially because they don't have anyone else.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. But
it's going to be back to Kareem Hunt, Juju Smith-Schuster,
but would you still put Chelsea. Baker over him?
Yeah. So for me, my rankings this week, I have Jaden Daniels number 1 as the number 1 quarterback for this week.
Okay.
I have Josh Allen number 2. I got Lamar 3. I got Jordan Love 4. I got Jalen Hurts 5. I got Burrow and Baker Mayfield tied for 6.
Where's Patrick in here? Did you go that far or no?
Yeah, I have Patrick down to 15.
That's where he belongs this season. That's where he's at. He's been putting up average points. He hasn't been doing any
And it's San Francisco. Yeah. So if I have him usually at 10, I got him down to 15 because San Francisco defense should be a problem. And they're not great at offense right now, as far as Kansas City goes.
Yeah. So between what Prime has, they have Burrow and Baker. Who you putting?
I have them both at 6. They're tied for exactly the same place.
Mahomes is good, but not fantasy wise. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't realize Jerry McKinnon is a free agent. I think it's crazy because he did good for the longest time. Yeah, well, he's also old as hell. So
and Kareem Hunt is just. We always knew Kareem Hunt was good. He made a terrible mistake, and they're looking for opportunity to bring him back. Oh, hell no. Bring back Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins' mama doesn't want Sammy Watkins to come back.
Michael, why? Michael, why are you so cringe, man? You would love if Sammy Watkins was a receiver to a freaking what's his face? Who's his boy?
Who's this guy?
The quarterback.
Who's your quarterback, man? That Penn State quarterback. What's his name?
Who played for the Cardinals and
that dude. I know he's gonna tell us in a second.
Yeah, he's gonna. I can't. I'm bringing him freaking far. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
All right.
Trace McSorley. Yes, sir. Trace McSorley.
Get the hell out of here, Mike. All right, guys. You want to know today's title of Gridiron Heights today?
Yeah, I definitely do.
The title is Aaron Rodgers Sideline Masterclass. And it opens up with the freaking Cowboys. I don't know what to expect.
Wow. I don't know if you guys saw last week's one. Last week was so great, too. I think that was my favorite this entire season.
Yeah. I remember you guys were just laughing. I caught a little bit of it, but I didn't get to watch you guys the entirety of the show. But because I was trying to find a place to sleep.
Wait. He's a puppet?
He's always been a puppet. Have you just now noticed this?
I did notice that.
They've always had him as a puppet. Every episode, he's a puppet. I'm surprised you've just now noticed this.
Oh, my gosh.
He's always a puppet, man.
He's great.
Always been the puppet. All right. Here we got Dak CD over there, man. Oh, you know a cool thing? Dallas Cowboys Stadium. At the end of the game, there is a door where they have security. Outside the south side of the stadium, the players get to actually walk out, and if they want, they could sign autographs. But, of course, that day they didn't because they were all pissed off and mad. They just went straight to their cars. But I thought that was pretty cool.
When you get your butt whooped that bad, yeah, I understand.
Oh, yeah, CD. I saw CD just walk straight beeline into his car. He just looked around. He didn't say nothing, man. He didn't say he looked exactly like that. He just went straight to his car, him in his black hoodie and in his duffel bag. He was so mad. I'm like, you know what? And then you got some dickhead over there screaming, "Do better, boys." I'm like, yeah, that's probably, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that tunnel. But, hey, it is what it is. All right, let's get this one rolling. Get the volume up, captions on.
Do you yearn for the spotlight?
Yes, spotlight now.
Do you want to cause a little scene on the sideline?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah, boo me and cheer for your precious Hallie.
Hi, I'm Aaron Rodgers, and welcome to Sideline Theater Masterclass. You may know me from my...
I love it already. I love it already. Oh, my gosh.
How many clips are we going to see him throughout the years of Green Bay on this one is what I'm interested in. They better bring the dark room.
Why is he always such a he looks more like a douche with his glasses on now. It's unbelievable. It just always it should have been an ascot. Like it should have been a green thing with a little slit and had like a little green ascot with 8 on it. Like, oh my god.
Oh, good Lord. I swear they better bring back old clips of him Green Bay Packers are at the dark room and all that media every summer.
A recent role as guy undermining coach on sideline, celebrated with 2 wins and 1 firing. In this program, I'll teach you how to act on the sideline and get the attention you deserve. Show me a completely blank face, but still look sad. Love it. Good. Wow. Burrow, you look so empty inside. I think I have to score 100 points for this team to win. I need more.
Oh, poor Burrow, man.
He said, look blank staring and look empty inside.
And he does every week, man.
I need more from you.
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 Perfect.
Coach, you son of a bitch.
Bo, you petulant child.
You have me all mixed up inside.
I think I love you and it scares me. Yes, make the audience wonder what's going on between you two. I was a 2-time coach of the year, but you ruined me like you ruined everything. We also offer a special lesson on mouthing words that the internet can interpret in different ways.
All right, Today's class, mouthing words that the internet can interpret in different ways. As he just said, you can't spell scapegoat without goat. Tomorrow, 2 to 4, advanced podcast acting.
Wow, that
was pretty fast.
Like this is before Davante Adams. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty fast, man.
Okay, so here I could be saying, I am going to bake a corn fritter for this swell soul. Or, I am going to take a flamethrower to this hellhole. We also have guest lecturers.
Go.
Oh boy, I really wish I got the ball.
If you don't believe you, then I don't believe you. Those bastards, they took my ball. Give me my ball back!
And many more. Sideline Theater Masterclass. There's finally a method to the madness.
This fall, one man will change the course of his franchise using only body language.
Yeah, nothing.
Aaron Rodgers is guy undermining coach on sideline.
Oh my god,
stupid, man! What's up, Kadani?
Kadani.
Remember when Kadani Rodriguez showed up to
So the hat.
Yeah, we.
Do you?
It's. Look, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a interesting dude. Honestly, dude, I hope that he retires and he becomes part of the media. I really hope so. I hope he does because
I don't wish that on nobody. Oh my god, I don't wish that on nobody. No one deserves that.
I think he would be straight up and tell it like it is, because apparently Brady, wherever he travels, the home team loses, and yeah.
Or it's just he always goes to Cowboys, and that's what they keep on losing.
Yes, I don't know. Well, we'll see. But I'm excited for this whole Davante Adams and what they're gonna do. Hopefully the Lions can make a trade for a DN and probably be a lot easier. I really, like I said, to rerun. I want Watson to be benched. Give me Jameson Winston, man. Give me some Jameson Winston. I want to see it because I'm tired of what I see for the last couple of years and has all that money for no reason.
You know what I want? I want to hurry up and get to next week when Chicago's playing Washington. I could yell at Mark the entire week. On every show, I'm just going to be yelling at Mark. I'm gonna bring him on the Panda Grizzly show. We'll be yelling on Dynasty Pipeline. We're gonna do it on Sunday. We're just gonna yell for no reason.
That's me. Jesus, Rodrigo. My gosh. Mike, how do you sleep at night?
He said with a pillow.
Yeah, on the mattress firm. Please tell me, Mike. Love you, dude. Please tell me, somewhere in your Madden games, you have Trace McSorley, Sammy Watkins, and Rodrigo all on the same team, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Even if they're on the bench, you will lose.
Make it happen. No, because he's probably playing the old version. You can edit their stats.
Oh, yeah. Put them all in 99.
How you gonna say Aaron Rodgers has no excuses in New York, and the world's gonna have plenty to say when he plays Sunday night in Pittsburgh? Then they got to win the storyline with Russ. Yeah, look, we'll see what happens. He says, "Damn straight."
Would you be surprised if Russell got hurt?
No, absolutely not. And you know what's going to happen? If he does get hurt, it wouldn't surprise me. And then there goes back Fields, and then they run with them for the rest. Then no. If Russ gets hurt, it's probably going to be in the third or fourth quarter when they're getting their asses kicked. Mm-hmm. You know what? He's going to fake an injury.
No, my shoulder.
Yeah. My finger, it twisted again. I don't know.
My right shoulder.
If Russ goes out there and balls out, I'm gonna be a little mildly mad.
Yeah. Hey, I don't want it.
I don't want it either. Because Fields has the worst luck of all time since he's been in. He's been winning. Man. He's been making it happen.
He hasn't been turning the ball over.
He's not QB5, not QB10, but he's been making it happen. He's been doing it.
And he's perfect for that team.
Great.
He's perfect for that team.
He is.
Defense, run the ball, hold on to the ball, time possession.
Yeah. I was scared of last week they were going to bench him halfway through the game. Mm-hmm. I was scared that they were going to do that.
And then all of a sudden, he just woke up. He woke up and he started playing.
And then they're just going to bench him. You know what? I hope Pittsburgh loses next week because of that.
I hope they get destroyed.
I hope they do, because if they do, that's their fault. And if they're not going to, I hope they win. Mm-hmm. But I hope that they throw in Justin at the last quarter and they come back and win it.
That would be great. And I want to hear Mike Tomlin say, that was my bad. I'm the head coach. The buck stops at me. I should have kept the hot hand in. Justin's my fault. He will be starting the rest of the season. I want to hear that on Monday morning. That's what I want.
Yeah. Because that's what we're going to hear, hopefully, the entirety of all week. But, guys, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say? If not, I'm going to call it.
That was the biggest thing. I cannot wait to see what happens the rest of this week. I think we're going to have some more trades. I think a lot of things are going to occur for us, but I want to see what happens in the NFL. The NFL is just so interesting every week. That's why it's the best sport in all of America, and that's why we're always interested, and we always have something else to say, because just things are happening non-stop.
All right. One more thing. You got the Broncos or you got the Saints? And they're in New Orleans.
I'm going to go Saints still.
I think I'm going to go Saints as well. Oh, y'all's opinion on which team is the worst position right now not to be in so far into the season? Which team is in the worst position right now? Panthers.
Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, Cleveland too, but I'd still say.
But that's because of contracts. I'm thinking about ownership, contracts, shipping your best wide receiver, and probably have to get rid of Myles Garrett too. Cleveland's probably the only thing I'm thinking.
You know what? I'll go back and retract that. I think maybe the Patriots.
That's a good answer too. No, but what's called look good.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna hold up, man. I don't think he's gonna hold that up.
I was surprised. I was like, oh look.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL by the end of the season, and they end up with the first round draft pick. Second to the Browns.
Because the Browns can't do anything.
Which means that the Panthers are better, right?
Ooh. Ugh.
Because if I'm saying both Patriots and the Browns, oh man, we'll see what happens.
What if I told you Bryce Young will start again?
Mike's just
this season.
Living dreams over here. What?
What if I said Bryce Young will start again this season for Carolina?
It wouldn't surprise me. We said this. Well, as a matter, I think you said it actually. You said by week 8 or 9, they might shuffle the board a bit and throw him back out there just to see what happens.
Exactly.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if he does something good.
If he goes back to, they're not going to want him back.
Mike Tomlin will never allow it to happen.
They're not going to want him back. All right. Well, guys, we will see you Sunday morning. Hopefully all of us will be. Well, Tank won't be there. But the 3 of us will be there.
Yes, we will.
To have an actual young quarterback that can play a little, yeah, well, that's what they've been saying. And then he still hasn't gotten beat up yet. Okay. Let him get beat up and finally realize what real teams are, because the Bengals was not it. Was it the Bengals?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Bengals is not a real threat defensively, which is surprising because I really thought on paper they looked good, but it's not.
Don't be surprised the Bengals ends up with 11 wins this season. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, well, then they got Jacksonville this week, so that's another team. That's
another win.
Yeah, so, anyways, guys, that's it. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you guys are at. Take care of whatever you got to do. Again, Wednesday night. Check waivers again. Check your waivers. We're at that time. We're coming up on week 7. People start to drop people for other dumb people. Check the waivers after the waivers. And also, since tomorrow's Thursday, be sure your Broncos and your Saints aren't in your flex spot, okay?
Yep.
Take them out of the flex, put them in their position. Don't negate your flex spot tomorrow. See you, Michael, later. Kadani, Mark, thanks for popping in. And good morning, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you guys are at. I'll see you Sunday with my ugly face, Brian and Mark. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.
See you guys.
Getting hyped when I aim up, elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.